Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our next facilitator for Career Expo 2025, Amaka Ezeh-Ameh. Amaka is a business intelligence analyst in the tech industry with a strong background in leveraging data to drive strategic decisions. With extensive experience in data analysis, reporting, and process optimization, Amaka has played a key role helping businesses transform raw data into actionable insights, optimize operations, and drive business growth in both corporate Canada and corporate Nigeria. Dedicated to empowering professionals, Amaka shares valuable industry knowledge to help professionals navigate their careers and excel in the evolving world of technology. Ladies and gentlemen, Career Expo 2025, can we make welcome with a standing ovation and reactions and claps, Amaka Ezeh-Ameh, as she takes us on our session.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Goodness.
You're welcome, huh?
Okay, so I want to start by thanking Tife for the invitation and also the Career Expo team for the good work you're doing. That is so commendable. Thank you. I'll just start by sharing how I met Tife. How we connected. So that was back in I can't remember the year, but that was in Nigeria. And she had headhunted me twice. That was how we connected for a job, a senior role to what I was doing back then. And well, it didn't end up well. I wasn't given the job, but yeah, we kept that relationship and see how far we got. And I think you guys should also help me ask Tife why I wasn't given the job. Okay. All right, so I will start by sharing my screen. And today I'm going to be talking about harnessing technology for career success. Please let me know if you can hear me.
We can hear you clearly.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, so today I'm going to be speaking on harnessing technology for career success. And we're going to be starting by looking at the driving force, okay? So the driving force, so recently, over a decade ago, we started hearing a lot about technology, tech jobs, tech skills. Robots are going to, replace human beings. So many things about technology, and doing well using technical skills in our career. And how did it start? It started by industry shifting from the traditional business operations to tech-driven. Today, you hardly can see any company or any product that is not tech integrated. You hardly, because that means you're going to be leaving out on a lot of money on the table. You're going to be leaving out a lot of people. So every business idea these days has something to do, has a way of integrating technology into it because it's efficient, it's effective, it's productive, it's global. It's a way of being a global business, even from the comfort of your room, And then the second driver is the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we call it the Industry 4.0. So before the fourth industrial revolution, we used to have in the industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. And before these industrial revolutions, what we are used to are manual labor, handmade stuff, getting stuff from our farms, crafting it to whatever we need it for. And then we started seeking out ways to make our lives better, and we started talking about technology advancement. And then from there, we started from the 1.0. 1.0 is really, integrating technical skills, smart tech into our jobs, productions, and all of that. The industry 4.0, which is where we are now, actually started with the manufacturing industries. because back in the days we have a lot of those factories, and they were mostly done by people manually, and then it wasn't that productive. I mean, it wasn't effective. And yeah. So where we are now, we are in Industry 4.0, and its characteristics of smart technology, automation, real-time data, um, data analysis, integrating real-time data into manufacturing and business processes. So here, these days, we hear about cloud computing. Some of us may think cloud computing, when we hear these words, they seem so big, but we are already doing some of them, and we're already doing some of them, like cloud computing, and we don't even know. And so we're already using this gadget, and we don't even need to know how to use our gadget to its full potentials. But today we're going to be sharing some insights and perspective on these, and how we can further, use them to advance our careers. So right now, we're in the Industry 4.0. Everything is tech, everything is smart cars, EVs, electric vehicles, smart houses, smart cities, everything, robotic processes, everything is integrated, And then let's look a little bit back just to give us perspective on how we got here. Like I already said, it was our quest for making our lives better, technology advancement. Then we started, excuse me. Yeah, so we left manual to using steam powers and mass productions. Industry 2.0 also from water and turbine to generate electricity. To generate power, we started using making it more smart using electricity. And also mass production is also characteristic of 2.0. So if you look at 1.0 and 2.0, you see mass production. But today in 4.0, you hardly can see mass production. People these days even have wait lists of people that want to make purchases of their products or purchases of their goods or whatever they're selling, services, before they actually prepare or produce. So it makes them more agile, it makes them more profitable, it makes them more productive and efficient. Then 3.0, we're using typewriters, and then computers can replace, before 3.0, we're using typewriters. 3.0, we now started using computers, robotics, and internet. Okay? And then, still talking about how we got here, each phase is characteristics of skill levels. So as we are progressing to advanced technologies, we are also noticing that we are having gaps in skills. Now we are getting these technologies and we don't have the human power to operate these robots. We don't have the human power to work in these factories. We don't have the human power to use certain skills that we actually advance the business or make the business more profitable. So from in Industry 1.0, we're having factory workers. Some still used manual physical energy. From there, we started looking at engineers and IT specialists. When companies started integrating technology using robots, so they started looking out for people that have engineering skills, IT skills, data analysis skill, cybersecurity skills, and then we now shifted from manual labor to technical expertise over time. Okay, and then from these, where we are now, there are jobs or job titles that we do not have yet that are still going to surface in 2030. Still characteristics of technology advancements. Okay, so talking about benefits of Industry 4.0 is a lot, especially to businesses, to companies, to industries, is a lot. That is why every industry leader, every business owner, every company is talking about tech skills, talking about technology, talking about people with the required skills. You see people are being reshuffled. You see companies headhunting people that already have the skills. Not that there are no people submitting CVs, to their job ads, but because they feel that these people, they may not have the skills that we need, they may not have used the technology that we use in our company, so they resort to headhunting people, because they need people with a particular skill based on the kind of softwares they use, the systems they use, and all of that. Because there's a lot of benefits, increased productivity, better decision, people that can analyze the data. As these systems are advanced and as we have almost all our business processes integrated one way or the other, businesses churn out a lot of data that are very cumbersome and very hard to read. So they are looking for people who can actually crunch this data and make it make sense, to the stakeholders, for them to make better decisions and for them to make to be more agile. And then I'll talk about sustainability, of course, green energy. We're talking about climate change. We are living the heavy machine era to robotic eras. You see EV, talking about living petrol, gas. Vehicles that use petrol and gas into using self-driven cars, using electric vehicles. These are all have AI and robots integrated into them. Okay, so those are the benefits. So a research by a university, which I won't mention the name, in the United States, stated that 92% of jobs today require digital skills. And on the left-hand chart, you can see in the US that the employees without digital skills are 33%, while almost, a higher number of employees have digital skills because they know that there is no chance for them to compete in the labor market, in the job market without the skills. So everyone is on that front line, getting all the skills that they need to get to be more competitive in the job market, to advance in their career, to get better life generally. Then on the right-hand side chart, you see that jobs that don't require digital skill are almost non-existent, 8%, while those that require digital skills, is 92%. Such a large number. So I went for that to say, okay, now I'm speaking to my people in Nigeria. I should bring in statistics that are very relevant to them and to the market. And I saw this. Increasing demand. Before the slide, I should do this slide. So the digital skill gap in Nigeria. This research was done in 2023. So I believe this is a very shocking statistics to me. I feel it's very low. I feel we are very behind. And on the other hand, I feel that, okay, since this research was done in 2023, it means that in 2025, we should have progressed. It should have been 85, because this research says Nigerian graduate without digital skills 85%. That's a lot, and this was in 2023. Now 2 years later, I should believe that this number should have decreased, and I'm also counting on you guys here in this room to make that number decrease by actually doing self-learning. Self-education, reskilling and upskilling yourself. There are a lot of platforms out there that you can actually utilize. YouTube, very key. As much as people underplay it, is actually number one for me, and it's very, very accessible that we can use to make this number decrease. So imagine out of 100 graduates in Nigeria and only 15%. Because a lot of us, even while in school, we do not know how to use the Microsoft package, like the Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and all of that, because we weren't taught, or the relevance wasn't really made so clear to us. We don't know. We were very focused on getting good grades, passing tests and all of that, without like real hands-on practical job market experiences in school. So yeah, I understand the system. But then we have this life of ours, and it's our responsibility to make it up to ourselves. And that is by, self-educating, reskilling and upskilling. And luckily we have a lot of resources out there these days to make that happen for us. And should I say fortunately or unfortunately, African business leaders prioritizing it 87, you can imagine, because they know it's very, very important. So they prioritize it. And then the skill is 15. So how do they fill these jobs when they have them? You see companies reshuffling people. You hear this person is working in for example, Access Bank, and tomorrow is working in Stanbic IBTC, and you're wondering, but I mean, they receive a lot of CVs. Why didn't they? I don't know. Sometimes they don't even advertise these jobs because they feel it's a waste of time to advertise the job, because they won't. I was once a recruiter, so I know the pain of going through CVs and you don't see anything. Like you spend hours and you don't see anything that aligns with your job description. It is painful. So some of these jobs are not even advertised. They go and headhunt people that they feel use same system. For example, Access Bank could be using same banking system as Stanbic IBTC. They don't need to waste time to be collecting CVs that they may not need. They just go straight to people working in Stanbic IBTC and ask them to come and work for them. It's easier, it's effective, you meet your deadline and everything on time, because of the level of the skill shortage. So right now, I'm going to be challenging you to whatever career line or career that you've chosen. Once in a while, you should go to job boards, look at what is going on, look at the jobs that are advertising, look at the skills that they have on there. You can get like 2-3 job descriptions placed side by side, look at them and see the skills that they have, tech skills, soft skills that they have in those job descriptions. And then you identify your gaps by yourself. You know the softwares that you don't know, you haven't even heard about it. You know the software you haven't even used. List out those softwares and make researches on them. Check YouTube. There could be videos that you can see and learn one or two from. It may not give you that real life on the job experience, but you have an idea of how it works, and you can actually like create a personal project using the software or using the platform or using the skill. You could learn that skill, getting yourself prepped, for your next job. Then, of course, there is an increasing demand for AI skills for both tech and non-tech jobs. So these days, at least from my experience, it doesn't matter if you're going for a tech role or non-tech roles, because the truth is that whatever system you're going to be using, whatever system the company is using, has some level of AI integrated into them, and your ability to use those systems, it does matter. So they ask questions related to, do you know about this, or how do you keep yourself updated with the trends, AI trends, technology trends? It doesn't matter if you're going for a tech or non-tech job, because you're going to be using a computer to do your job at the end of the day. Yeah, most jobs at least. You're going to be using computer to be doing your job. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter if it's a coding or non-coding job. It doesn't matter if it's data analysis, business intelligence. You're going to be using a system. You're going to be using a software in most cases to be doing the job. So they have to find out your level. I mean, how savvy. You don't even need to be like an expert. They want to know how savvy you are with technology, with AI, with ChatGPT, as basic as that can sound. Some may not have been using it, but people, they want to be able to know that you actually know how to give good prompts, asking right questions. So this is not about, it's no longer about your level of intelligence and all of that, because there are a lot of tools at your beckon that you can use to produce quality work. It is your quality, the quality of your questions. Let me put it that way. How do you know how to ask the right questions? Because if you're right, for example, this chart was created by ChatGPT. I hope you see source on there. It was created by ChatGPT. After my research, I asked, I said, I can present just words to my audience. It could be very confusing and they may not really like grasp all the concepts. But with a graph or a chart, looking at it and looking at the numbers, we already have like a context, or you already understand what it's talking about. So I asked ChatGPT, create me a chart with this information, and it did. Asking the right questions. I didn't use any tool to do this. I didn't use Excel. I didn't use Tableau. I didn't use any sophisticated, tool to do this. I just asked the right question and it brought it out for me. Okay, asking the right question will really go a long way. So employers will prefer AI skills over experience. Can you imagine that? 71% of them actually will prefer AI skills over experience. Executive require AI skills for new hires, 66. Companies using AI, of course, we know a lot of companies these days, if not all, use AI for for hiring, job posting, of course, and of course, interview rate for interview. Yeah, so there are these two shocking statistics. I don't know, but we are still hoping. I mean, the last two, which says interview rate for candidates with AI skills, men is higher. I mean, for men, the statistic for men is higher than that of women. And when I saw it, I'm like, why? And that is because some employers and recruiters don't still rate women when it comes to these tech skills. They feel that men has it, So that's a challenge for you and I, if you're a woman, to make it up for yourself, to be that person that when any recruiter sees your profile, they're not thinking, oh, because it's a lady, I think this guy will be a better suited for the job, right? And this lady, yes, it's all for us to make it up to ourselves. Okay, so moving on to the next slide. So we have challenges of Industry 4.0. And so when I was preparing this, I said, these challenges of Industry 4.0 is equal to the job opportunities. So if these are the challenges we have now, because we're currently in 4.0 and even the future, if these are the challenges that we have, then there are opportunities, So the number one challenge is high initial investment. Some companies, especially startups, they don't have that capital or budget to implement the softwares or to buy the softwares, right? So as a software engineering or aspiring software engineering or enthusiast, someone still learning one or two code, you should build up yourself to that. The opportunity here for you is to build your skills up to that level where you are building alternative, affordable softwares that offer same value, to companies. Yep, that is opportunity there. And then when it comes to cybersecurity, of course, when everything is automated, everybody's on the internet, everything is online, there are always the bad guys who are looking for ways to steal information, to impersonate people, impersonate companies, and steal their information, steal their money. So that also poses a challenge. I mean, this is a challenge which also poses an opportunity. You can based on your skill, assess your skill level, and say, I think I want to pursue a career in cybersecurity. And to be honest, this is a very, very, I don't want to say lucrative, but yes, lucrative and very forward-looking career path that anyone can choose. You can go ahead, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you studied animal science in school. it doesn't matter what you studied. It all takes your decision to say, this is what I want to do because I like this. And there are a lot of areas in cybersecurity. There are ones that don't even require coding, like the governance, risk and compliance, the GRC part. It doesn't even require you coding anything. It's just you making sure that boxes are ticked, that the system is compliant to some rules, maybe GDPR in Nigeria, NDPR, that everything is in compliance. What you need to do is get certification. You can launch a career in cybersecurity, get a certification in Security Plus or Red Hat, and you might as well be on your way to becoming a cybersecurity expert, professional, And then the next one is data. Of course, so many systems, so many things happening online, customer shopping online, so many things going on, in our digital world. There are a lot of massive, massive data being churned out every day. And this data are so cumbersome and it's very overwhelming. Companies don't even know what to do with it. But now, we already found a way. Data analysts, business intelligence analysts are helping us crunch this data. They are helping us make it make sense. Instead of having a text report, these days, reports are usually no longer, okay, it's been a long time that I see a report that is written in words, like people are writing essay, right? Everything is in dashboard. Everything is numbers that quantifying everything, because when you quantify something, you're able to have like a context. It gives you better perspective to the level, to the amount, so the level of success or danger or that something is in, right? So this career part are helping us fix that challenge in this industry 4.0, and then the last part of it, excuse me, is integration complexity. So a lot of companies have IT departments that are people that are skilled in implementing these softwares. For example, my last job in Nigeria, we were using Odoo as a software. And then Odoo wasn't really that cool because the company was expanding and they needed something very more agile and then we decided to move to Microsoft Dynamics 365 then. So we had IT people, right, that will pretty much help us to implement the software. We have the Microsoft team also helping us. But then we, at the time, didn't have everything, like the major of all the skills that we needed for that. So we had to have the Microsoft team implementers coming. They actually took us on, should I say, seminar or some kind of meetings, on how to use, implement, especially the IT teams as then, how to implement this thing. And then for me, then in my department, what I did was gathering requirements, what we need, what each module should contain, how it should be easy for employees to navigate, these softwares and all of customizing the software. So what I'm trying to drive at is these softwares are there, but there is a shortage of skills of people who implement them, who can maintain the systems, who can make sure that they are secured, right? And then that's where you see the opportunities of ERP functional consultant come in. People, I know that in Nigeria, I don't know the software that is very common now, but in North America, you most time hear about SAP. I know, yes, most Nigerians, especially banks, SAP. Here you hear Workday, you hear ADP. Okay, let me engage you guys small. Can you give me like example of software that you've used or you've heard being used in your company, or yeah, somewhere that you know. Interesting. Okay, someone said member connect. Okay, SAP, yeah. Fully user man. Okay, yeah, okay. Process maker. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. So these are different ERP systems that companies, use, and and they're always on the lookout for people who can implement the softwares, who can maintain the systems, even HRIS that you use in your company. People maintain them, exceed. People maintain the software, people integrate them. When someone says, oh, I can't log into my portal, or I can't do this, I can't submit my leave request, something like that, there are people who take care of these things, and these are implementers, functional consultants. Those are opportunities that you can also explore. All right. So moving on to the next slide. Microsoft Excel. Microsoft Excel is like the number one tool number one tech tool you should have in your toolbox as a professional anywhere you are, because this single tool is a lot. It does a lot. Data management, storing and organizing and filtering, sorting data. You can use it you can use it for your data analysis. You don't even need sophisticated um, softwares to do that. You can use your pivot table to do your analysis, even create dashboards on Excel using Power Query and all of that. For project managers, you can use Excel to create your Gantt charts, manage your team, report your project costs, make changes, monitor and track your deadlines. For accountants, profit and loss statement reports. For sales people, sales reporting. Like, is a lot. If there is one single tool that will help you, make you stand out in your career, make you get job interview, make you get the job, is stating the facts that you have high or advanced level of proficiency in Excel. State what you can do with your Excel. State the functions you can use on your CV. This is a skill that I know that every recruiter, it doesn't matter the job you're going for, like I always say, it doesn't matter. Tech, non-tech, show the recruiter that you can use Excel. You can even go as far as creating personal projects. Put it on your personal website, put it in your GitHub or GitLab. Create a project using your Excel and put it on there. Just I know some companies, they ask for your work, what they past jobs that you've done in the past. And of course, you can't present the job that you did for a company because of some level of confidentiality or the NDA that you signed. So you are able to create your personal project using these tools. Excel, put it there on your portfolio. Put the link to your portfolio on your CV. This alone is going to you're going to get all the interviews that I'm talking from experience. You're going to get any interview you put in, any job you apply for, you are going to get a call. Getting a call, like we all know, is like the first foot to the door. Then you now really expressing yourself and, expressing yourself and demonstrating these skills, we now get to the job. But getting your foot to the door putting in that Excel, what you've done, and your portfolio link on your CV, you're gonna get a call back. You're gonna get shortlisted for that interview. I can't even stress it enough. Excel is number one tool you should have in your toolbox. And it's very easy to learn. What you just need is a decision. Just make a decision that I want to learn Excel and just get committed to learning it. Go to YouTube. There are a lot of videos on so many functions you can learn, so many things you can do with it, so many reports you can create. You can do this on your own. Like I said, self-educating, all of these things. We're taught in our universities in Nigeria. We're taught, but you own it to yourself to self-educate yourself, to be competitive in the job market wherever you find yourself. And there is one thing I forgot to mention. When you are comparing yourselves, like this data that I have here, where it says 67% of employees in the US has digital skills, and here we are having only 15%. Now, people in Nigeria will say, "Oh, only 15%. I'm even part of the 15%." In some way, compare themselves or limit themselves to the environment. No, your competitor is not even in Nigeria. That is where I think your competitor is not in Nigeria. The people you're competing with is not in Nigeria. They are outside. They are not in Nigeria. You should be thinking as someone that is far way ahead of what is going on. Because the thing is that you owe it to yourself. I know everything going on in Nigeria, but you still owe it to yourself. So you are not comparing yourself with anybody in Nigeria. You're comparing yourself with what the global statistics is saying, what the statistics in the Western world are saying. Those are the statistics you are comparing yourself. You're not comparing yourself with the 15%. People, and I'm definitely sure it's more than 15% now. But I'm just saying, your competitor is not in Nigeria. The competitor is actually those statistics that you see on the global platforms. Okay, so moving on to the next slide, productivity. So I think I'm rounding off. Okay, the productivity tools I think everyone should have in their toolbox. Microsoft Suite, of course. You know how to use all these tools. The Google Workspace, know how to use Docs, Sheets. The thing is, Google Workspace is actually free. I know there is a paid one for businesses, but there are ones that are that are free. Some data analytics tools are very free, not free. Yes, but you have free trial. You have free trial that can last for 30 days. And after 30 days, if you still want to continue using it, you can use another email and sign up and continue to use. Keep learning and brushing yourself with all those how to use those tools. Cloud computing. When you hear cloud computing, you're thinking of Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure. The advanced computing. In as much as those are very good at this level, especially if you are entry level, mid level, whatever level you are, or you think you haven't really gotten to that advanced level, cloud computing is simply you knowing how to use Google Drive to share. Keep your documents on Google Drive. Cloud computing is simply having your document, not having your document in your local machine, but having them on the internet, having them on cloud. So the document being on Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox, you're being able to share this, being able to collaborate with people on cloud. You are already having these skills. You should do it. Test it out. On yourself. You can create personal files on cloud just to get a hang of how it works. And then meeting and collaboration. Of course, I know a lot of us know how to use Zoom, Teams, Calendly, and how to set meetings. Google Meet, Google Calendar. All of these are productivity tools that you should know how to use to advance your career. And of course, AI tools, ChatGPT. All of us already are on Neat, Copilot, and if you're not on Neat, you should get on it. And then Grammarly helps us a whole lot. For example, if I want to write an email and I feel that my tone, I don't really understand my tone. I don't know if I'm trying to I don't know if my tone sounds stern or it sounds not professional or whatever. I use Grammarly to keep myself in check. I use Grammarly to tweak the tone. I say, okay, make it friendly or make it however you want to make it, and it actually does it. It gives you a version and versions actually, and then you're able to choose which version you are to use to for that email, for that research, for that write-up, for that report that you're doing. So all of these are productivity tools that you should try to explore. Make sure one fits ahead your peers. And of course, robotic process automation example is a Power Automate. So we have Microsoft Power Platforms, which sometimes come with the Microsoft suite. So the platform has the Power Apps. Power Apps, if you notice in your company, or if there are intranets, in the intranet or the portal where you submit your leave requests or attendance or clocking in, those mini portals, mini websites that are built with Power Apps, and they're built by simply dragging and dropping. These are things that you can actually sign up for free trial. Sign up for a Microsoft free trial, you get 30 days or more. I can't remember. And you're able to test out this and how do they work. Use YouTube, use resources at your reach. How do they work, to get how they actually to understand how they really work. And Power Automate helps you to automate repetitive tasks, so that you don't keep doing simple tasks all over again every time. So, and my last slide is leveraging technology for professional branding. And of course, we know how important visibility is these days. So you have to build a strong online presence, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, but whatever platform you choose to use, make sure that whatever content you're putting out aligns with your personal and professional values and and your field, right? Whatever you're putting out there aligns with what you believe in as a professional, as a person. Let what you are or what you represent professionally don't be in contrast to what you have on those platforms. And of course, you can have as many online. You can have if you have two interests. You have interest in sports, you have interest in HR. You can create an online presence for the two and put out content that shows your thoughtfulness, thought leadership, your knowledge, on all those platforms. And of course, creating portfolios, like I said, building personal projects and putting out there on your personal website, on a GitHub, sharing the link on your CV, sharing the link on LinkedIn, places alike. And then publishing articles and content in your field. You can publish articles on LinkedIn, on your X, Facebook, whichever platform you choose. Just make sure that platform you choose has your right audience. The people you are looking to connect with are on those platforms, right? And ensure that whatever you're putting out aligns with your values, your personal and professional values. Then communication, this is should be number one. Communication is, so the way Excel is in your professional journey and life, that is the way communication is. Articulating yourself, speaking up, not just speaking up clearly, the way that you are understood. You can start by speaking out in meetings. In meeting, just don't keep quiet and just say thank you at the end of the meeting and leave. No, speak out. Listen to people's contribution. Form your ideas around them. Get your own ideas before the meetings. Look at the agenda of the meeting. What are we going to be talking about? What is my question? What question do I have? You can use ChatGPT and generate question, but shall talk. Do you understand? Talk. You have to talk. I'm just trying to see if I can how I can stress it, but it's very, very important. Their physical appearance. There's a line that says, dress the way you want to be addressed. Yeah, great. But it goes beyond that. Do you know that in some places, some jobs, for example, there could be this person that is really, really brainy, knowledgeable, technically skilled, and everything, that they always bring the job to go and do. And after that, then there is this other person that will not carry the job that you did and then give the other person to present. Or they will not carry the other person for a meeting, maybe to pitch to a client or to pitch to investors or to pitch to maybe high-level stakeholders. There's this other person that they now carry your work that you did and give to the person to go and present. And the reason is because they've looked at you and you're not really good in articulating yourself. You may not really do justice to the slides. I know you did a very perfect slide, but when it comes to presenting and when it comes to talking to people, you are not really there yet. So we can't risk that. So we're going to have to go with this other person who dresses well, speaks well, carries themselves well, walks well, whatever. You may think that they don't matter, but they do matter. They matter. I'm telling you, I don't know how to stress it, but I believe you already get the stress from the way I'm saying it, they do matter, and you should carry yourself very well, both in your place of work, outside your place of work, the composure, the grooming, your hair. You don't need to do too much, right? Just get your clothes clean, do your hair clean and neatly packed. You don't need to do too much. You just need to appear smart and speak well so that they won't carry your work and give another person to present. Okay? Then the next one is emotional intelligence, right? Managing conflict. This is a big one too at work. Managing conflict. There are some emails you get at work, and in real life, if you get that email, you're going to block the person. Like, for me, I'll block you because I just want to move on. I don't want back and forth, right? But at work, you don't have choice. You have to deal with it. You have to deal with it that way. You have to find a way to just deal with it. So emotional intelligence is you knowing that even though you guys are doing the same kind of job, you're in the same office, everything, you don't have the same personalities. Personalities differ, and you should be able to understand where this person is coming from, their thought process, what made you do that, what made you send that kind of email, what made you use that kind of tone. You should be able to understand what maybe the person is having a bad day, person is having a tough time, it's a tough season, maybe at home, somewhere. Emotional intelligence is you not replying that email and say, you know what, I'm going to just go and side chat this person and say, can we have a chat? Can we have maybe a coffee or a lunch or something, that will make us talk face to face so that I understand what is going on and I'm able to manage it better. Okay. And the life one is being a long life learner. Continue upskilling, continue reskilling. There are a lot of resources. Like I always say, self-educate yourself. You owe it to yourself to have a better life, better career, better anything you think of. You owe it to yourself to educate yourself. You don't rely on whatever you have gotten out of school or whatever you didn't get from anywhere. You owe it to yourself to self-educate, upskill, reskill, become a better person, build a better career, and build a better life. Okay, so that's all. Thank you, everyone, and I'm open to answering questions.